Hi everybody, welcome to the podcast. Nice to see you again. Well, I can't actually see you, I wish I could, but my name's Emma, I'm sure you know that, and I'll put all my stuff down below. This is primarily a knitting, dyeing podcast, and I am coming to you from Northern Ireland. So, since the last episode, I have just a few little bits that I want to share with you regarding my knitting. And in the last episode I had started a sheep breeds leftover striped crocheted blanket, which I'd never done before, and I have actually got that finished, so I'm just going to show it to you. It's a baby blanket and it's using up all of my leftover bits of the yarn that I got spun up last year. I think it looks really nice. I'm so pleased with it. And the yarn that I got spun up was all woolen spun, so it's really squishy and cozy, and I think it'll be really, really nice for the little baby. So, not my baby, someone else's. And yeah, the yarns were all sourced from the UK and spun at small mills, and they're all different breeds, each different one. And I'm really, really pleased with it, how it turned out. I think I cast on something like 150 stitches maybe, so it's fairly long, but I thought it's long and shallow, but I thought I could fold it in half like this, or the person whose baby it is could fold it in half and then tuck it in, so I thought that would work quite well. And I like it so much, I'm considering starting another one. I'd also really like one for myself, although if I was doing one for myself I would make it bigger than this. I'd make it a little bit longer and quite a bit wider and quite a lot longer. And I think I said in the last episode which each of the breeds are. But I'll just share quickly again. There's Cheviot, there's Dorset, this one's Dorset, there is Shetland, and there is Jacobs, and there's Teeswater and Oxford Down, and what else? That's maybe everything. So yeah, it's a nice way to show all the kind of yarns that I've produced in the last year or so. And I'm really excited for this next year because I have some really interesting and different breeds getting spun up. So that'll be really interesting. So I have a palette ready to send to the little mill in Wales. And I will also be sending some stuff down to Jess in County Cavan. She's just opened a little mill there, and I've been collecting and sourcing some really exciting stuff. So I won't go into it too much now because it won't be ready for so long. But I'm really excited. There's a lot of natural coloured fleeces, loads of dark colours as well, so I think it'll be really, really nice, and it'll add a lot of contrast to my natural dyeing because a lot of the time it's quite sort of pastel kind of colours a lot of the time, so I think the mixture of having some naturally dyed and some like naturally coloured fleeces will be really, really nice to knit with. I've made a teeny tiny wee bit of progress on my Kume sweater, which is a pattern by Vanessa Pelissa. So I will show this to you. I've attached one sleeve and I haven't got to the other one, so I'm kind of mid-row. So this is the detail at the side of it. And in below the arm, the cable, there's a cable in below the arm on both sides. And this cardigan is a staked one, so you can see here. this will be my first steek, so I'm quite intrigued by that. And this is my natural sock DK that I dyed with nettles, and it turned out really well and I'm really enjoying knitting with it. I don't have any of this left in the shop at the moment, but I'm going to go out and collect some nettles in the next few days for dyeing in the next few days. And yeah, hopefully I'll have a bit more of that in the shop eventually. So this was my first cable project as well, and I really enjoyed it, and I made it interesting. Every time you went around, you're like, oh, there's a nice little bit of something to do, and then that made you go quicker around again. So when I was adding the sleeve, I don't think I looked at the photographs correctly, but I just assumed that the cable was on the outside of the arm rather than on the inside. So I had to go check out some photos, and then I realised that I was wrong. The cable is on the inside of the arm, so you just catch little flashes of it when you lift up your arm. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this is going. And now that I have finished a rather large and difficult project, which I will show you next, I hope to finish this. This is going to be my primary project for the next while. So yeah, I'm working on that. So this is fresh off the blocking boards this morning, and this is my shawl design that I'm trying to do. So it's my first ever design. I'm not really good at maths and stuff, so I actually found the whole process really difficult, if I'm being honest. This is the third time I've knitted this shawl, and there's still a few little issues with this one, like you can see here. I should have stopped increasing in the middle a few rows before starting the lace panel. So when I write up the pattern, I'll have to make sure to change that, just so it doesn't have this weird little bumpy bit. But other than that, I am really pleased with this, especially like the bind off, the picot bind off. And I don't know how many times I've knitted and ripped out this lace section. It must be like too many, just to try and get these end bits right, because I wasn't sure really what to do in the end bits, because you're still increasing, but then you've got this kind of space, and I didn't want to have just like nothing there, so I had to figure out how to add a little something to make it nice. Obviously I haven't woven in the ends yet. I knitted this in my BFL Gotland 4-ply, and the grey is undyed, and the pink colour is peony, I think, or maybe Carrie's dark peony, I can't actually remember. But it's sort of a fair size, so we'll just put it on and show you a little bit. So yeah, hopefully this little problem will be ironed out in the test, because I don't think I can bring myself to knit it again. The rows at the end were quite long, but up until that point it was pretty nice to knit. So I would probably either wear it like this, wear it like this, I quite like just to show off the lace, or I would probably most likely wear it like this, and that also shows off the lace quite nicely. And obviously when I get this little problem ironed out, I think it will be really good. It's really cozy. This base, the BFL Gotland base, is kind of like a tiny bit hairy. I have another shawl in it, and it's the shawl that I wear the most often, I would say. And I think it's because this yarn is a little bit hairy, and that makes it really, really warm. And that's what you need here when it's cold. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how this went as my first design. I started the first version of it in March 2019. And I didn't want to put any pressure on myself. I just wanted to kind of play around and see what I could create. But now it's kind of at the stage where I need to write up the pattern. I've took notes and I'm going to type it next so I can have it really clearly laid out. And I'm going to, I suppose, have to start looking for testers. I have never done this process before, so I have no clue how any of this works. I often see call outs from other designers and stuff on Instagram saying, do you want to test this pattern? And I think most people set it up on Google Sheets, then people can comment or whatever. So I'll probably do something like that. But yeah, I don't really know how the process all works, so I'll have to do a bit of research and find out. Yeah, so as I said, like, I did find this quite difficult. It's quite mathematical, and you definitely have to use your brain in a different way, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to try designing something, just to see if I could like use that part of my brain, because I think I don't use it really much. And yeah, I just wanted to give it a go to see if it was something I was maybe interested in. But I think because it was so difficult for me to get my head around, I don't think it's going to be something I'm going to be doing a lot, but I might just dabble in it from time to time. So yeah, that was quite interesting. And who knows when this will be released, but probably not for a good while, I would imagine. But I'm really pleased with it so far, because as I said, this is not something I find easy, and there you go. I'm quite happy with the result, apart from my little bump problem, which I will fix. So I do have a name for this shawl, but I'm not going to release it just yet. But I will hopefully get going with this. Probably not today, because after I finish this podcast, I have to label maybe 100 skeins, and then after that, when my husband comes back with the car, I am going to go and sort out all the different fleeces for spinning. So they have been skirted already, which means all the poo has been picked out and all the straw and vegetable matter. And then now what I'm going to go and do is go and label all the bags and sew all the bags up in preparation for collection, and write on what weight I want the yarn and meterage and stuff, and write the address label, and so that will take a bit of work. There's quite a few bags there, and I have to make sure I have enough of each type, because you need at least 20 kilograms when you're doing a spin. So that will be this afternoon's task, and by that time it will probably be time to finish, so then I can start my kume cardigan. So that is today's plan. In other news, the advent calendars sold out last night, so thank you all so much for that. If you didn't manage to get a full one, next month I will be hopefully releasing a mini version, a kind of half size version, which will be probably something like 12 mini skeins, possibly a pattern, and possibly stitch markers. That's what I'm thinking. I think for the pattern for this one, I think I will try and design it again myself. Although it's not a shawl, so it's something a little bit different. Maybe it will be a shawl. No, probably won't be a shawl. And so yeah, those will probably go on sale in about a month's time, but I want to get started with the full advent calendars first. So a lot of work involved in those. If you're wondering when I'll be getting more natural sock, I'm getting a delivery on Monday, so I'm really excited about that because I had kind of been running out. And I'm not sure when the shop will be restocked next, probably in a few weeks, because I have loads of iron weight yarn coming to the shop. That's what I'm labelling today. And I have BFL Gotland iron weight, BFL Massim iron weight, and I might dye up a little bit of Southdown iron weight. So that'll be in the next few weeks probably. And in the last podcast, you've probably seen the sheep shearing that I was at. I have been to some more since then. I have been to see some black Welsh mountain sheep getting shorn. So I have a little bit of footage of that, and I went for a lovely walk last night with the dog and my friend, and I have a little bit of footage of that I will put in as well. I think over the lockdown you kind of get used to like not really going out, and even though some of the restrictions have been lifted now and we're allowed to go out and stuff, I kind of have been not doing it as much as I used to. And so it was really good to get out last night, because you just get so stuck in your head and stuck in your own bubble, and it's just nice to get out in the fresh air and chat to someone. So yeah, so I think that is pretty much all I have for today. It's kind of a short episode, but I hope that's okay. And I hope you enjoy the sheepy footage and the beach footage that's coming up. And I will hopefully check in again with you next week. Hopefully. See ya. go.